Hello, all again. Thank you for joining us today. My name, myself, is Vivek George, and I'm the technical support engineer for Autel India, Middle East, and Africa. So, the agenda of today's session is not quite technical. So, it is to introduce to a product which we claim is the future of automotive diagnostics, and that is the new Ultra series from Autel. So today we will be discussing in detail about the specs and various feature highlights of this product. And you can say if Autel is right about this product or not. The goal of this presentation is my goal is to get you all excited about this product, as excited as I am. So let's see and wait to see all the features. Okay. So let's begin for that. So let's continue. So as I told you, we'll be introducing about the new Autel's new Ultra series, which is a flagship diagnostic tool which Autel is gonna introduce into the market. As already introduced, it's been a few days now. So give me a moment, I'll point the laser highlighter. Oh yeah, I think it should be better now. So these tools from Autel hasn't developed this tool in overnight. So Autel has years of experience, and some of you who joined here might know the first generation of high-end vehicle diagnostic tool, which is the MaxiDas series. You might the famous MaxiDas DS708, and now we have the DS808. So that was a tool, industry-leading tool, which provided had a novel feature of high-end vehicle diagnostic features. Then in the year 2013, we came out with the MaxiSys series. So the MaxiSys series had a novel feature of online programming without any paid subscriptions. So it changed the game for Autel, and it changed the automotive diagnostic industry overall with the Maxi series. And now in 2020, Autel's third generation of diagnostic tools, which is the Ultra series. So every time when we come up with a new product or new series, we make sure we have something new added into it, which is not out there in the industry. And this time we came up with intelligent diagnostics. So we'll be talking more about those features on the coming slides. And first, let me show you the product lineup in the Ultra series, which we have the three highlighted models, which is MS909, MS919, and the Ultra. So these are the three models which is in the Ultra series. And let's quickly see a video of the introduction to the Ultra. Let me switch on the audio. If you cannot hear the sound, let me know. Just put it on the chat if you can't hear the video sound.
The history of Autel Diagnostics is a foundation of success built on ingenuity, an evolution of design and functionality. Ultra is the future. Intelligent diagnostics, a larger tablet for multi-window operation. The history of Autel Diagnostics is a foundation of success built on ingenuity, an evolution of design and functionality. Ultra is the future. Intelligent diagnostics, a larger tablet for multi-window operation. Maximize your intelligence with powerful hardware, faster analysis, and expanded data storage. Meet busy repair demands with a substantial battery capacity. HD dual cameras capture every detail. Dual Wi-Fi connection to the VCMI device and a wireless network simultaneously for faster diagnostics. The MaxiFlash VCMI is more powerful than ever. Multi-channel simultaneous analysis to test components and confirm repairs. New protocols to support the vehicles of today and tomorrow. Expanded passenger and increasing commercial vehicle coverage. Complete diagnostic detection, system analysis, and repair confirmation in one tool. 5-in-1 combination, vehicle communication and measurement interface. Easier oscilloscope operation with built-in preset guided tests for operation and analysis. Faster system communication malfunction detection using OBD2 CAN bus check. Ultra, smarter than ever. Faster VIN scan recognition for vehicle identification. New topology module mapping of CAN bus tree with color-coded module status for faster full system diagnostic results. Ultra Intelligent Diagnostics provides direct access to OE-related TSBs, recalls, and service campaigns. Repair Assist Diagnostic Guidance is designed to support from DTC to diagnostic analysis to repair recommendation options easily and efficiently. Ultra MaxiFix, more efficient than ever. Search multiple options of DTC-based repair advice by relevant cases or repair tips, video and document libraries. Providing direct access to top-ranked repair recommendation from industry pros. Everything you have been waiting for. This is Ultra.
Okay, that video has charged me up. I hope that was an exciting video. Autel does a very good job in the videos as like their products as. So now let's continue with the comparison between the MaxiSys series and the MaxiSys Ultra series. So on the MaxiSys series, which the models which we had was the MaxiSys Pro, which is the MS908S Pro, and the MaxiSys Elite. And under the Ultra series, we have 909, 919, and the Ultra, which are the new 3 models. So on comparing the advanced diagnostic features, if you compare the diagnostic features, it is equivalent to the old models, as well as the new models is equivalent in that the capability on diagnostic features. And online programming, again, online programming has the same capabilities on the MaxiSys series as well as the Ultra series. Intelligent diagnostic is the new set of features we have that is only available on the new models on the Ultra series, and SAE-J2534 protocol, which you might have already seen on the programmer, which was available for the MaxiSys series, is also available for the new Ultra series. Plus, we have new 3 protocols available for the Ultra series. And the CAN FD protocol can be added into the old MaxiSys models as well with an optional adapter. But it's standard feature for all the new 3 models under Ultra series. A built-in oscilloscope. So yes, that's an interesting feature. We'll come more onto that in the coming slides. So the built-in oscilloscope is available on the Ultra series, Ultra and 919. Same in case of waveform generator and CAN bus check. And VCI Wi-Fi connectivity is available on all the 3 new models of Ultra series. Then ScanWin. ScanWin is another interesting feature which is available on the new Ultra series. So let's talk about these features in detail on the coming slides. So Autel has developed this tool after a lot of market study. So the market study was mainly on the pain points of the end users. So basically our users. So we have a lot of we have done a lot of surveys from a lot of our users as well as the competitor product users, and we have understood they have certain concerns, certain common concerns that meets all of these users, and I will list out some of them here. So the first one is can't repair complex and difficult faults leading to low income. So nowadays the vehicles are complicated, so each task is very complicated and it's complex, and the knowledge you require, the amount of tools you require, the multi-branded different brand tools you need to repair these are expensive, and the users are not able to, mostly our users which is the who works under the aftermarket automotive industry for automotive vehicle repair and services, is not able to make enough income on investing on all these products. Then other pain point is generally the vehicle system is complex and difficult to repair. So as I said before, today's cars is the cars are getting more and more complicated every day now. So different manufacturers bringing up with different features and different functions. So it is a task for the repair center to find out the correct fault, repair them, get info about them. So that is another pain point. And difficult to obtain repair help info. So as I told before, the technicians has to invest a lot of money on different equipments, different subscriptions online for say, repair manuals, service manuals for each car, each model, each year. So, and going through those materials is again an tedious task. So considering all the fact, it makes a automotive technician's life much worse than it was before or 10 years before now. And the model and function coverage of diagnostic device is limited. So yes, there was no tool in the market which had multi-purposes as multi. So every time you want to serve a purpose for a repair, you will need one device for diagnostics, you will need an oscilloscope, you will need different other equipments, you will need a programmer, you will need a software subscription for programming, you'll need a software subscription for repair manuals. So everything is different investment is huge, and there is no tool or no system that can give all the info in one go. So the only method to solve complex fault is to replace different components until the fault cause is found. So the other problem. So this is one major issue I tried solving, and we'll give you some more examples on this particular problem as well. So many of the technicians, like once we see a TTC, we start going one by one on each component which has a TTC and end up in replacing all of that until the symptom of or the concern of the customer is sorted. So it is again a tedious task. So Autel solution to these end users pain points is the Ultra series. That's our answer for these problems. So the first solution which we give is on the intelligent diagnostics. So in intelligent diagnostics, we have certain features included in the Ultra series, which includes the system topology, repair assist, DTC analysis, technical service bulletins. So we'll be explaining further on that on the coming slides. So what our goal here is to bridge the gap between diagnostic device, pre-diagnosis and the post-diagnosis method. So before any diagnostic tool, what we usually use for, even including Autel's tool, what we use for is diagnostic, get a scan report and see and do an active test, find the problem, and then do the repair by yourself. And after the repair, for any sort of activation or programming or calibration, you again use a diagnostic tool. So it's a pre-process and the post-process. But that repair process, competitor tools were not able to support the technician or the uh, or our end users to do the repair process or guide through the repair process. So intelligent diagnostics gives you an intelligent way of analyzing the problem and giving you repair ideas, tips, guides, instructions for repairing the issue. So basically, with less knowledge, or even if you don't have an experience on a particular vehicle, we got you covered on that. We'll explain you how we got you covered on the coming slides. So some other features are industry-leading vehicle coverage, which supports even the manufacturing year 2020 models now. Even the updates are available for the MaxiSys series as well. So we have covered 2020 models. Support more protocols, which includes the 3 new protocols, CAN-FD and DOIP protocols. Some GM, the newer 2020 model GM vehicles needs CAN-FD. So we got you covered for that. And yes, all the high-end functions of new cars are supported by different new protocols. And still we support the J2534 as we used to support before. Another interesting part of the new Ultra series is our vehicle communication interface. So the new vehicle communication interface, which comes standard with the MS919 and the Ultra, as an inbuilt multimeter, oscilloscope, waveform generator, CAN bus check, and the ECU reprogrammer. So how many tools can you avoid purchasing by just purchasing one single tool? A diagnostic tool plus all these extra 5 add-on functions inbuilt into it. So, and that's not it. I will be explaining you what is our difference on using Autel's any of these features compared to buying a separate tool on using it. Feature highlights of the Ultra series. One other exciting feature is, as you might all aware, like we used to connect the vehicle communication interface with the car and connect the diagnostic tablet with the vehicle communication interface through Bluetooth. So now we have one more function, which is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, not just Bluetooth. So Wi-Fi makes it 30% faster with also our new OBD2 port version 2, which makes 30% faster plus 50 meters of range. So you leave the car connected to the VCI and walk away 50 meters away, still your diagnostics will happen anywhere in your work area. And it's much more stable than the Bluetooth connectivity. So yes, that is a very big add-on to the Autel's new VCMI or VCI. And yes, vehicle selection. So this is the first thing we have to do on starting your diagnosis process. So we have an interesting feature, which is the auto detect, which you all might know. It decodes the VIN and it tells you the VIN number. It scans the VIN number for you, the year, make, and model of the vehicle for you, so you don't have to manually select it. And the other way is that you can manually input the VIN number into the system. Okay. Even though mostly we don't try to do it, at times we are forced to do it. Even I was forced to do it many times. When the auto detect doesn't work for older models, old vehicles doesn't support auto VIN detect. So manually inputting it is a tedious task. So Autel understands that pain point and introduced the scan VIN feature. So scan VIN feature is basically you can scan the VIN number using the tablet, scanners, camera, and it decodes the VIN and input it automatically for you. Even there's a feature to scan the barcode. If there's usually barcode in newer vehicles, maybe it can be seen on beside the VIN number, or on the side of the door panel. So that in that way, we have got you covered as well. So DTC views. This might be a very general view. So you see, you scan a car, do an auto scan, and what do you see? Number of fault codes. Can you guys give a rough guess on how many fault codes a car can have? I mean, just a wild guess. 10, 15, 100, any guess? Actually, it can go over thousands. So maybe, yeah, mostly we don't see that many. Still, even if you have 48 fault codes in a system, as you can, it's listed out. And that's a lots of fault codes. Yes, so one new way we have introduced is the topology, system topology. So in a system topology, as you can see, the ECUs or the electronic control modules are listed in the topology form. The people who are used to using the OEM scan tools for some brands might be used to the topology list and might also be aware how useful this function is. And Autel has brought this into the aftermarket segment as well, for not just for one brand. We have a wide range of brands covered under this feature. For BMW, Ford, Volkswagen, Audi, GM, Chrysler, Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Lexus, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, Kia, Volvo. And Autel always keeps a good job on updating it for newer brands. So we have this function now for all these brands, and we will be adding on this function for all the car brands available on our tool. So this is, and I'll tell you the importance why this system topology is important part of a diagnostics of a vehicle, and how it is different from just a normal list view which we see on old Autel tools or any competitor tools. So let's go through a case study on system topology to let you understand how this feature can help you to diagnose a vehicle much easier. Here we have a Volkswagen Passat, which has a module communication fault. Okay, so this might not be the actual car. I just found it on Google. I just put it there. So yes, on April 19, 2020, a technician, I'm getting a lot of messages. Okay. A technician used a competitor's equipment for troubleshooting. The system reported uncoded fault. After replacing the ECU of a 2018 Volkswagen Passat, and after inputting the original codes and performing online programming, the problem still exists. The technician spent an hour searching for the root cause. So there is a communication fault. The technician replaced the ECU, coded it, programmed it, and still the problem exists. And what does the competitor solution give? So some competitor tool actually, which he used, gave information like DTCs are displayed in a list format, inconvenient to locate the root cause. So as I told you before, we can even get like hundreds of fault codes every time we scan. So out of those 100 fault codes, it's really difficult for us to prioritize or find out what is the root cause for the symptom we have on the car or the customer's concern. So the pain point here is the right method was used but cannot eliminate the problem. So this is the only way, this is the only solution the technician or any competitor tool provides to find or diagnose the fault. So the technician doesn't have any other option, but not with the Ultra. Once he used the Ultra series, he used the MS919 and he went to the topology list. And it was displayed that the connection between the modules. So as you can see, it gives a proper lineup of all the connection between each modules and what network is it under, like if it's the CAN bus or it's the LIN or different networking is given on different color frames. And as you can see here, the control gateway module has a fault code. So even with a glance here, we can easily identify what could be the first issue that we should try eliminating to see if the symptom goes down or not. And definitely that was the problem. So as you can see from this, so the system gateway module had a problem. So the communication between modules and status can be spotted in a glance. Locate faults and solve problems quickly. So spending an hour. So with the competitive tool, the technician spent an hour to figure out what the problem was. And with the topology, it took the technician just 20 minutes. So this is our real life case studies, which was performed by the headquarters by our partner technicians. So back about in intelligent diagnostics. So again, just quickly showing you different intelligent diagnostic features, starting with the repair assist. So repair assist is a feature which prioritizes the diagnostic trouble codes. Like even if we have a list of trouble codes, it will be prioritized and it will give you a step-by-step guide to fix that particular fault. So we'll talk in detail about that. Don't worry, even if you don't get the point out of it. Then next one, DTC analysis. It defines the DTC causes and inspection methods. So it basically gives you a detailed information rather than just giving a description of the fault. It gives you detailed information of various scenarios, why it would have caused symptoms, its influence in the vehicle. So that is what DTC is. Relevant cases. So relevant cases is a database of all the users of our diagnostic tool gives out. So it records the similar cases. It is smart. The device is smart enough to record the relevant cases that has been done by other users or technicians and record it into the system, and it can be shown to an other user on how that technician have solved this issue. So yes, that is another interesting feature. Component measurement. As I told you, we have inbuilt oscilloscope, multimeter, waveform generator, CAN bus check. So we have all the necessary equipment inbuilt into the system that can take measurements and do any sort of diagnosis in the car. So now we have after the first phase of diagnosing, which is the DTC trouble codes, after finding that, we have the next way for the repair manuals, repair guides, and after that it will even guide you how to do these measurements. So we have systems to show you how to measure certain or how to test a component, how to carry out different tests. That is also included into the system. And I think we have covered everything with the Ultra model. So the repair tips. So repair tips, again, as I told you, it is a repair guide. It gives you graphic and videos as well as photos to show you how to carry out different repairs on a system or different tests on a system. It will directly spot you on which wire has to be replaced or which sensor has to be replaced, as an example. Okay, again, one of my favorite one, it's technical service bulletins. Technical service bulletin is basically an official statement to eliminate unnecessary inspection process. So it is, I think, it is a feature which gives manufacturers technical service bulletins directly into system. After selecting your car, after finding the diagnostic trouble code, you can go through the technical service bulletins and see if that particular fault code for that particular model is a manufacturing defect, or is it a fault which regularly happens to that particular model, and it is directly given by the OEM directly to you. So first, let's talk about repair assist in detail. That is the best we have. And so what it does, it ranks the DTCs, diagnostic trouble codes, by priority. So if you have 48 or 50 diagnostic trouble codes, it will prioritize which diagnostic trouble code has to be sorted out first to solve the major problem. So the major problems is solved by priority. So you don't have to have a lot of experience on prioritizing the fault codes by yourself instead of just having a list. This gives you it by priority. step-by-step repair guidance. So, which is the coolest part here. So it guides you how to repair. It doesn't just tell you what the problem is. It tells you how to fix it. So how to repair that issue, how you can eliminate that cause of that particular concern. Then precise recommendation. After repairing it or after doing a test, you will need to do more tests on to verify if it is giving the right result. So the system has predefined data which tells you what the actual readings you could expect from a particular component, or the waves or signals from an oscilloscope, what can be expected from it, how it's supposed to work. And you can compare the actual result with the predefined result if it is working fine or not. And it's supported for the listed brands as I've listed here. And I have a case study on this as well, on Repair Assist. And this time it's a BMW. So, and BMW X5 idling, shaking, and slow in response when accelerating. So, on April 30, 2020, a car owner from Shenzhen, okay, in China, cleaned the X5's throttle. Okay, so that's a very common service we perform. 3 days later, idling, shaking, and slow in response occurs when accelerating. Can anyone guess the cause? Yes. Okay. So I think many of you might have already guessed the cause. Yeah, I think you can keep in mind, but guesswork doesn't work anymore in the future cars because there are multiple causes that this particular problem could happen. So we have to actually deal it the professional way by using a professional scan tool like Ultra. But our technician prefers to use a competitor tool in the beginning. So the competitor tool, the technician used a competitor equipment to scan the fault codes. The engine system reported multiple fault codes featuring throttle, accelerator pedal, intake pressure, and the other sensors. So various fault codes were there related to this concern. Again, yeah. So I think many of you might have already thought about these concerns, about these sensors, but we still don't know where to start from because there are a lot of components related to it. And the technician spent 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. 2 hours to check the circuits, pedal, and the throttle, but still could not find the issue cause. Yeah, maybe you might be smart enough to find it, and we might be lucky enough to spot the right one. But why take a chance? So this technician took his chance and he failed. He spent 2 hours and the customer is not going to pay him anything. And he has worked a lot for 2 hours, which he's not going to get paid for. How bad is that situation on using a competitor's tool? So with a variety of possible causes, to figure out the root cause is time consuming. Of course, it is time consuming. If lack of experience is detailed in detailed reference, it would be difficult to locate or solve the issue. So as we have a list of fault codes, it would be very difficult to go through each of them without any guidance or repair of assistance features. And it took him 120 minutes, which is 2 hours. Now the technician actually uses Autel. So Autel's solution to this problem. So I would specifically say Autel Ultra series solution. So first thing first, we did a DTC scan. We entered the repair assist with the MS919. We found the throttle actuator was the #1 listed priority. So in the other scan tool, competitor scan tool, there was no such priorities. The related causes, one of it was the throttle actuator, but it didn't prioritize it as the #1. So the corresponding codes were all these listed here as DME module reported the fault. So what did the technician do? So he listed out these, he prioritized it and checked the first priority fault codes first. He checked the throttle circuits after accessing repair assist steps. So he used the repair assist tips and guidance to check the fault and identify what exactly is the fault instead of straight away going and replacing the DME module. So he tested that the DME module and its output voltage was 0. So okay, looks like he found the problem here. So the output voltage was 0. So that means that is an issue. So replace DME module and programmed it. So he put a new one, he programmed it, tested the voltage pin and throttle again, and it gave 5 volt. Yeah, that is good. We are good to go. But okay, the worst part is the symptoms still exist. So now what do we do now? So we have only checked the number 1 priority problem here. So we will check the number 2 priority as well, since the problem is not yet solved. So access the intake pressure sensor section with listed number 2 priority. So number 2 priority in the repair assist gives the intake pressure sensor. So the system tells you, okay, check the intake pressure sensor now. So if the DME doesn't work, if the throttle actuator is not the problem, then check this now. So in repair, and quickly located the sensor by reading the wiring diagram. So we give you a component wiring and circuit diagram to locate the problem here. As you can see here, since it was taken in Shenzhen, it was all in Chinese. I'm sorry about that. So this is what the technician shared. So he got the wiring diagram straight away. It even spotted the actuator sensor for him. And system, after replacing the sensor, the system disappeared after replacement of the damaged sensor. Okay, so anyway, the problem is solved after replacing the intake pressure sensor. But still, the technician is smart. Technician wants to check if it was the DME problem, DME was replaced without a cause. So the technician replaced the DME module back, the old DME module back, and he checked the system again, and the problem came back again. So that means both the number 1 priority and the number 2 priority, the system was, Ultra series was intelligent enough to find that the number 1 priority and number 2 priority issue was identified correct, and we solved the issue smartly with the system. So if the same technician using the competitors tool took him 2 hours, this Ultra series just took him 30 minutes to fix the fault, not just diagnosing. It took him just 30 minutes to fix the fault. So that is what a repair assist feature offered by Autel gives you. So now technical service bulletins. So like the repair assist on Intelligent Diagnostic, the other feature is the technical service bulletins. So as I told you, technical service bulletin gives the OEM common problems and fixes. So it tells you the OEM technical service bulletin is provided you in the scanner. So you can check what is the OEM solution to a common issue which is caused for their particular car vehicle model. And it suggests you fixes, and it gives you fault symptoms and upgrade announcement. There would be upgrades on the car, so it will give you the informations on that. Improving repair efficiency. So that is, improving repair efficiency is one of the major point to be noted on a technical service bulletin. So the reason how it improves the repair efficiency is, for example, you get a particular concern from your customer, and it might be a manufacturing defect or common issue faced by many technicians. Many models in the same model year or the same model. So it might be a common cause. So, and the technician doesn't have to spend time repairing that particular component. So it might be a direct replacement part. So the technician can directly check from the system what the OEM has recommended for that particular fault. If it's a replacement of the part, or if it's the repair of the part. So the technician can easily check without wasting any time and straight away change the component. And this is the coverage for support it makes for technical service bulletins. So as I've told you before, just putting it again, Autel has these many brands covered as of now for this particular feature. And Autel will be improving it until we implement this particular feature for all the brands we cover. So this is an example of a technical service bulletin. So this is the particular cause, and it tells you affected models, which are the affected models, common affected models with this particular symptom. And it gives you, say, various conditions. It gives you a lot of, it's a proper technical service bulletin. I'm sure like most of you might have gone through a technical service bulletin, but Autel has took some time to cut short of that technical service bulletin and gives you only the required information without having 10 or 20 pages into it. So we directly, because we shortlist, we specify a model and directly shortlist it accordingly. Next feature, DTC analysis under intelligent diagnostics, as I told you. So it shows you the possible causes. It gives you the inspection methods. It narrows down your inspection scope, and it's the coverage for this particular feature are these brands. So I have an example here for a particular vehicle. It shows you this DTC description as any scan tool would do, even an Autel MaxiSys would do. And it gives you a fault description. It gives the condition at what voltage it should work on. It gives you a fault influence, possible causes, possible solution, a range of things which you would need before starting on to repair that problem. So basically everything you would need would be given by a DTC analysis. So up next, I've told you what is part of the software in the scanner. Like a lot of features, a lot of cool, interesting features, which you might have not seen as an all-in-one, all-in-one scanner. But that's not all of it. That's just half of it. Now, much more interesting part about the Ultra series is the vehicle communication interface itself. So just recap on our previous model, MaxiFlash Elite is the standard model of vehicle communication interface, which comes along with the MS908SP and MaxiSys Elite. The new 909 comes with the MaxiFlash VCI. The new model 919 and Ultra comes with the MaxiFlash VCMI. All the three models supports online programming. All the three models support J2534. The VCI and the VCMI supports a lot of new protocols, including the CAN-OFD and DRIP, and the VCMI supports the built-in oscilloscope. So let's talk in detail about the features included in the scopes, vehicle communication interface. So an oscilloscope. So yeah, this is a topic which we have to spend some time in talking about. So, and I don't think anyone's here who doesn't know an oscilloscope, but still I would like to explain. So it's more of like a voltmeter. Okay, you might use a multimeter to check the voltage. So you get the voltage at a certain time, a certain instant. But oscilloscope is different in a way. That's mostly used for the DC. So in case if you get an AC, it's a sine wave. So you should know, so where is the negative voltage coming and where's the positive voltage coming. So basically, you should understand an oscilloscope is a kind of electronic test instrument designed to graphically display different types of signal voltages as a two-dimensional plot of one or more signals as a function of time frequently. So basically, the difference between this and the voltmeter is it gives you voltage over time. So basically, it's a voltage over time graph. So it gives you, on one axis, it gives you the time, in the other axis, it gives you the voltage. How is the voltage fluctuating on various condition scenarios on different components, electronic components? And as the cars are getting a lot electrified nowadays, so a diagnosis or a repair of a component without an oscilloscope, automotive oscilloscope, is quite impossible. So someone somewhere said tracing a typical electrical waves on a breaking down equipment will be impossible without an automotive oscilloscope. See, so it is even impossible. So these are some examples of how an oscilloscope works. It gives you voltages. But I know why, like, okay, I'll tell you what are the advantages of using oscilloscope in the automotive diagnostics. So solve complex faults without replacing individual components. So first of all, many technicians, even so many people I know, okay, in order to make their life easy and because of their inexperience, like the BMW case study we have seen, if they see a fault in the DME control module, without even testing if what the actual issue is, they replace the full control module, which is added cost. So there would be an experienced technician nearby who can repair that issue without replacing that particular component. So, and I'm sure E is able to do that only because E has a good experience in using oscilloscopes. So definitely at the end of the day, my friends who are inexperienced, who just wants to replace the control modules or the components directly, will lose the business. So that's why oscilloscope is very much required. Solve intermittent wiring or connector faults, as I've told you. So we can check the wirings instead of replacing everything. We can check the wirings and the connectors and see if it is what the problem exactly is. We can trace down the problem like that. Solve the problem with no code or incorrect fault code. So DTC won't always narrow down your scope of diagnostics. So we should go in depth. It just gives you a general picture of what the fault is. So we should go narrow into it and narrow their scope and check if what the system says is correct or not. Solve the charging and starting system problems. Okay, the most commonly used function for oscilloscope, and I'm sure technicians definitely know how to use a scope for this particular function because this is the most common function served by an oscilloscope on charging system and starting system of vehicles. So it is the right solution and mostly the only feasible solution that we can check the system and the easy one. Solve the problem with actuators that are not monitored by the ECU. So there are certain problems which are not added by the ECU. It will give you a different picture, but definitely maybe a single wire would be the problem. So you can always go through each wires and see what the actual problem is. And yes, I understand one other problem here. So technicians' pain points on using oscilloscopes. Determine wiring location. Don't know which wiring to measure. So yes, I can really understand that pain because even an experienced technician find it really difficult to identify the wires and wiring diagram and going through all the service manuals. Even okay, mostly if without service manuals, it's very, very close to impossible without a lot of experience to identify each wires and pinpoints, pinouts to check for various results are based on that component. So a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge on this industry or using an oscilloscope is required on using a typical oscilloscope. Set parameters. Don't know how to set amplitude or time base. So as I've told you, so it's a waveform. So it has an amplitude and it has a time base. So most of the technicians in experience one on this industry doesn't know how to actually set the time base and the amplitude for it, or like because there will be millivolt system and I volt and a 12-volt system even. So we have to narrow down. We have to put a smaller frame to see smaller waveforms. So if the person who's using it doesn't know what what channel you have to use, then definitely the results what you get won't be correct. You won't be able to identify the results. You won't be able to see, it won't serve your purpose basically. So that is another pain point which the technicians face on using an oscilloscope. Another problem is analyzing the waveform. So can't judge whether the measured waveform is correct or not. The final and the most important issue. You might get a waveform. You connect the wires as per the wiring diagrams or the circuit diagrams which you might get. And after that, you don't know if the result what you're getting is right or not. You're not able to make your decision on it. So what is the point again on it? So on using an oscilloscope. So these are the typical pain points of using an oscilloscope. And if you ask me for a solution to this problem, is only by having experience or by owning an Ultra series model. So Autel has a solution to it, and I'll be in short showing you how Autel brings a solution to this issue. So before that, let's see how a competitor's oscilloscope works. So you basically capture the leads, connect the test leads according to their repair experience. As per your experience, you can take the probes or connectors, connect it into the system, search for a repair manual to find the wiring to be measured. So definitely you need a repair manual. You need to buy or you need to get a repair manual from somewhere to do this and manually set the waveform parameters. As I've told you before, manually you have to set the time base and the amplitude, and yeah, it's all on your experience basically with all zone experience you have. Then the second one is checking the signal, determine whether the waveform is correct or not. So you have to identify if that waveform what you have got is correct or not. You can do a lot of research, check with your friends, a lot of things can be done, waste a lot of time and do that. Then analyze the waveform again if it is correct or not. So the whole process takes around 30 minutes. Okay, assuming that you do everything right and you found all the information and you're finishing the process, takes you approximately 30 minutes. So how Autel comes with a solution is, so Autel captures signals, checks waveform, and analyze waveforms. So these are the problems we had. Now Autel brings solves those problems. So basically, if you want to capture signals successfully, on the first node, after checking the diagnostic trouble codes, even if you prioritize it or not, it has set component test. So for example, in this picture, you can say you can choose the actuator or you can choose any component in the vehicle or in the system, and it will tell you, it will ask you what you exactly want to test about. So you can just press the buttons and it will even give you the circuit diagrams and how to connect our oscillos into that particular system for that particular vehicle. And then it gives you proper instructions on how to do the test and what are the expected results. It even gives you a photograph of what is the expected result you could expect from that waveform. And if it varies from the expected result, that means there is a fault with the system. It will tell you a lot of information. It will give you a lot of information. And I would say this is a sort of a tool which teaches you how to use an oscilloscope. So it's a powerful oscilloscope tool with a very high bandwidth, with all the industry leading features. Plus it teaches you how to use an oscilloscope without any prior experience or any classes, any tutorials you have to attend. But still, I am planning on having a technical training session on oscilloscopes in the future. So how to use an oscilloscope with maybe our oscilloscope, which is the VCMI. And yes, in the future, we can plan on that as well. So that's about the oscilloscope. And it roughly takes 10 minutes to do a test on using Autel's oscilloscope which is inbuilt into the Ultra series. So a waveform generator. So waveform generator, or maybe some of you might be aware of sensor signal generator. It's the same thing. So basically, oscilloscopes takes the reads the voltage for you. So what this does is it has preset waveforms. It gives it we give input. We input the waveforms into different sensors or components or ECUs. We input the system and checks the output of that system. So we can determine if it's the wiring problem or if it's that component problem. So for example, if it's the ABS wheel speed sensor, so we have we have preset waveforms for the ABS wheel speed sensor set on our diagnostic tool. And you can just input that waveform into that sensor and see how the ABS sensor performs. So you can differentiate between if the waveform what you're creating is right, or like if the component, the ABS field speed sensor is working or not. Or if it works, that means you can blame the wiring on it or a different component. So again, the main point here is you don't have to worry about having experience on using it. The system will guide you with all the instructions. See operation steps. It will give you the circuit diagram. It has a help option, so it got you covered on that as well. And it simulate the sensor signals, simulate ECU signals, simulate actuator signals, a lot of features. And one more feature, interesting one is CAN bus check. So it checks the communication with the OBD2 port with the CAN bus network, which helps you solve a lot of communication faults and test the system. And also we have the multimeter inbuilt as well. So that's another basic feature we have. So I didn't highlight it here. And many of you, all of you might know about the MaxiSys ADAS. So you can integrate MaxiSys ADAS into the Ultra series as well. All the 3 models under Ultra series, integrate them directly. And that's all about the features of Ultra series. And thank you so much. If you have any more doubts or any queries about Ultra series, you can contact your nearest dealer. And if you want any help in finding or any information in finding the dealer or about the product, definitely you can email me at IMEA support@autel.com. I will leave that in the chat as well. So maybe you can take a screenshot now if you want. Okay. And this video will be uploaded on our YouTube channel, which is Autel IMEA, and on our Facebook page, which is Autel IMEA. So thank you so much for joining. It was a great pleasure. And I'm still excited about this product. I've been using this product for quite a while now, and it's amazing.